In the icy embrace of the winter night, as the silvery moonlight danced on the snow, I found myself on a dark, desolate road surrounded by a gloomy forest. The creaking of my old car was the only sound in this merciless silence. The wind whispered through the trees, as if foretelling something sinister. My hand trembled on the steering wheel, and my heart pounded so loudly it seemed the whole gloomy forest around could hear it. Everything around reminded me of descriptions from Stephen King novels, and at that moment, I began to doubt if I had taken a wrong turn and gotten lost. But before I could decipher the mystery of my whereabouts, something lit up in my peripheral vision. Red dots of light pierced through the trees. My eyes, weary from the night drive, slowly adjusted to the darkness, and I saw it a creature, something I could not describe even in my most horrific nightmares. It stood tall as a tree, with a dark, sinewy body covered in patches of lifeless skin. There were no hairs, and its face adorned two enormous red orbs, gleaming in the darkness like two burning coals. My gaze froze, and I could only stand there, staring at this monster, immobile, as if petrified by fear. The creature moved slowly, its long limbs swaying like springs, ready to pounce on me at any moment. I tried to start the engine and turn the car sharply, but my old friend failed me. The engine struggled to start, and the car only wheezed forward. The monster's red eyes no longer glinted. It stood there, a shadow within shadows, waiting. It seemed to me that it knew I was trying to escape and was merely toying with me, like a cat with a mouse, before delivering the fatal blow. Helpless, I realized I had to overcome my fear and make a decision. I turned off the headlights, leaving only the dim light of the reverse lamp, and stepped out of the car. My breath billowed in clouds in the cold air. My legs trembled, but I took a step forward, heading towards the dark figure among the trees. Every step was filled with agony, agonizing anticipation of an attack. But the creature remained motionless, merely watching me from its bloody eyes. When I finally reached it, my hand trembled as I tried to touch its skin. It was cold and clammy, like wet parchment. My fingers slid over its surface, and I could only imagine its gaze piercing into the depths of my soul. But then something happened. The creature began to disappear, dissolving into the darkness like smoke. I stood there alone, in chilling emptiness, trying to understand what had just happened. As dawn began to touch the horizon, I returned to my car with a heavy heart and muddled thoughts. I didn't know if it was reality or just a product of my tortured mind, but one thing was clear: I would never forget that night on the empty road when I encountered the monster with red eyes, whose secret would haunt me like a monstrous ghost until the end of my days.